Well, welcome to the Autoflower podcast. This is episode 0. It's going to be an introductory episode. My name is Chad, and I will be your host through the journey. If it ends up being a journey, I sure hope it does, but let's be honest, man, there's billions of podcasts out there, and this might flop on its face after this episode. And if that's the case, that's okay. At least we gave it a try, right? But my hopes is that this podcast will grow and be beneficial for growers who are interested in autoflowering cannabis. I'd like to interview breeders and talk genetics and interview growers and be able to explore and talk about different growing methods, such as topping and different training techniques, transplanting, growing organically, growing using synthetic nutrients. Really just kind of explore all these different options with people who have had experience doing it. And then everyone can kind of sit back and, you can come to your own conclusions about things or adapt certain things into your growing techniques, and really just a place where we can come together and just bounce information off each other, because iron sharpens iron, man. I'm a total noob. I've never done a podcast, and I'm fairly new to growing. I've been growing just about a year, just a few weeks shy of a year. I thought it was longer, actually. But now, being that I'm actually putting this, recording this, I thought I better go back and look. So I went back through some text messages and stuff and found out that, man, I started at the end of January in 2018. So I'm coming up on 1 year of growing. I started out just taking some CFL bulbs. I took some seeds that a friend had given me, some autoflower seeds. I went down to the home improvement store. I bought myself some Kellogg's Patio Plus and dumped it in a 5-gallon bucket, germinated the seed, and the seed started to grow. It was looking good. Man, I was so excited. And all of a sudden, there were just tons of fungus gnats flying around everywhere, all around my soil, and my plant started to look really weird. Within 1 week, it was just a seedling. And so, of course, I'm searching and Googling, and, come to find out, fungus gnats, the larvae eat at the root tips of your plant, and they just kill it. And at that point, I thought, okay, I need to up my game a little bit, So, based off of the Facebook groups I was a part of, I decided I would get some better soil. So I did. I got some better soil. And once I did that, my growing game really, really took off. And I was able to get the plants growing and get them to flower. But they were tiny, and there were just all kinds of deficiencies in them, because I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what type of nutrients should I use, and how often do you use them? And I bought myself some Tiger Bloom, and I didn't really know what to do. There's so many different opinions on how much to use. So I just started out small, and then I started pushing it, and but I ended up scorching one of my plants, and it's all trial and error, man. That's just kind of the name of the game. And then I really started paying attention to different things like pH. And once I started paying attention to the pH of my water going into my soil, everything changed for me. Everything. But that's the thing, I had to learn the hard way. I had to learn by deficiencies. One time I came home, I went camping, I came home, and the bottom leaves on my plant were just yellow and dead and just drooping over. And I panicked. So I go, growweedeasy.com. Thank God for that website. I go to Grow Weed Easy. I find out, it's a nitrogen deficiency. I'm like, oh, okay. So I think it's a nitrogen deficiency. So I go and I add nitrogen, right? Well, what I didn't know is that it wasn't actually a nitrogen deficiency. What happened is my pH and my water was at a level where the roots couldn't uptake nitrogen. You see, so it looked like a nitrogen deficiency, but I had plenty of nitrogen in my soil. The problem is that the plant wasn't able to uptake that nitrogen. And then I added nitrogen, and then I realized it was the pH, so I adjusted the pH, and then I had all that nitrogen in the soil, and everything ended up going into the plant, and it foxtailed all over the place. It was just a nightmare. So there's just different things like that I learned that I thought, man, there's got to be like a place to learn all this, you know? And thank God I found Instagram, and you know, a lot of the autoflower growers on there, they've helped me so much. But eventually, as time went on and I began to take note of these mistakes and, you know, consider them the next time I grew, each grow I get better and better, and I learn more. I study the plant, the biology of it. I'm interested in it. And I'm trying to go fully organic right now. That's what I prefer. I use cannabis for my Tourette's. I've got Tourette's and anxiety, but being as organic as possible is pretty important to me, because that Tourette's it's a neurological disorder. They say I am neurodiverse, whatever that means. So I've got some organic products. I'm going to be testing it out. I'm hoping it goes well. I think it will, because I've heard great things. My growing it's getting better each time. Each plant, as time goes on, it gets better and better. You know, autoflowers, I know I haven't been growing that long, but I know they've come a long way, because I research it and I learn about it, and I hear the stories. And man, these things are just, there's some beasts out there. You know, some of these genetics, they're, you know, 65 days from sprout, and there's like a 4-foot plant that's just pumping out these gigantic yields, and it's just absolutely amazing. And that's what I love about them, I think, is they grow so fast, and such a variety. You can grow a variety of them at one time and just keep changing them in and out of your tent. And I don't know, there's just something about it. I have nothing against photoperiod plants whatsoever. Yeah, I don't know, I just love the autoflower. So I'll cut out of here because I don't want to bore you to death, but I hope you come back. Thank you so much for even taking the time to listen to this introductory episode. I'll be back. We're gonna do some giveaways on Instagram. We're gonna be really active on Instagram. Like I'm some big team or something. It's just me, and I'm over here talking into my phone. The podcast on Instagram. The podcast account, how about that? The Instagram podcast account will be doing some giveaways. So be sure to follow the podcast over there. Get involved. Maybe we can all do like a vote on, you know, like auto of the week, and I can post it on the podcast Instagram account. I don't know. I'm open for ideas. Let's make this a community thing. So get in touch with me. If you want to follow my personal grow account on Instagram, you can find me there at Tourette Grower. All right. Thank you very much again for listening. I will chat with you guys later. Bye.
only in the roots dance. Where the reggae it's a play, see the daughter them a sway, why the DJ a DJ.
Run it, 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 run it.